Yeah, so you were about to say a guy at the Melbourne show.
Because we kicked off in Brisbane a couple nights ago, and shit went wild. That crowd was raucous, to say the least. They were just fighting with each other. They're just booing each other.
They were having focus groups in the back. They were just saying like, "Oh, that was a good joke. What did you think of that joke?" It was okay. I don't know. Let's listen to the next joke. I don't know. I'd rather discuss this joke.
You're from Ipswich? Fuck you! And then, but they were awesome, and I was more entertained by them than I think they were of us. But then last night in Melbourne, it was a theater, like a proper, nice old theater, so it was less like a rock concert than the Brisbane show. But everybody had 1,000 beers, and there were two hecklers, and one guy just kept yelling "Bangarang" from the back.
Which isn't even an Australian thing. It's a Spielberg thing. Bangarang. That's not Australian.
So, and then there was a guy up front who we were talking to a blind woman in the back, and he was heckling her.
She wasn't blind, right? She was gonna be blind in
but
10
still,
years.
He took a pretty hard line on her.
Well,
Yeah,
I
one
think
guy
he turned
was
out to be
calling
right.
back to the, he's like, yeah, shut up, like to the blind lady, where she wasn't blind, but
But then, so there was a guy, we ran into somebody after the show at a bar, and he said, he goes, the guy in the Bangarang guy up in the balcony, we were sitting behind him, and he had his shoe off at one point. He was like waving his shoe, and then they'd watched him drink 11 beers, and then he just looked at his shoe, and then filled his shoe with vomit. So now he's sitting there with a vomit-filled shoe, and then he realized that he has to go clean his shoes, so he just pours the vomit out?
No, he went outside, he poured it on the sidewalk outside, and then he proceeded to get in a fight. And then we left and got food, and then we came back, and I saw the very vomit he poured out. I didn't realize at the time that this was Shoe Man's vomit, but I pieced it together afterwards.
Oh, was it on the sidewalk?
Yeah.
I saw that too, yeah.
Yeah, and we were like, that's weirdly fresh vomit.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With little pieces of koala meat in there.
Right, yeah.
A little chlamydia koala meat. That was a Sydney Sider's vomit. No, it was a Melbourneian. I think he was from Ipswich. But yeah, no, both great cities, both in their own different way. Melbourne was like the hipster city, and Brisbane was like Gremlins 2. I think Brisbane is Sydney's Ipswich. This is starting to make sense. I'm from the Midwestern United States. Everybody always has to have a community. When you're from Milwaukee, you have to pick on Cudahy. It's just like a town of 200 people where all the tanning factories are. So it smells like poop when you drive past it. So, people in Milwaukee love picking on Cudahy because it's like just shit rolls downhill. So, but Sydney is the multicultural capital of even the world, let alone Australia. This is the first place. This is the first European settlement. This is where they first opened the prison colony for business. They were like, this is the place, let's send them. And then in the 19th century, they said, okay, you're not prisoners anymore, now you can try to build a society. And the Aborigines were like, what about us for 30,000 years? And then the Beds Are Burning video, and then everything's fine. Everything's fine now.
Wow.
You're my knight in shining armor, you old poop. I always thought that guy sounded a lot like Katharine Hepburn. How can we sleep when our golden pond is burning, you old poop?
You had him with Gremlins 2, you lost him with On Golden Pond.
No, but I'm not Hepburn fans here, huh? Maybe that's why you like that song so much. Like they were like, this sounds really original. I'm like, that's bringing up baby.